What's going on, everyone? Timothy, Time and Refinement. Actually, in a different spot tonight. I'm actually outside enjoying a cigar. I'm gonna relax before I head to bed. Oh, let's see. Today, there's been a couple gals I've kind of been chatting with. Um, Thought I was going really well. This one gal it's been probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. Had a great date. Went out to dinner. Awesome time, awesome conversation. Took her down to a concert down in Phoenix. Had an awesome time. Sat in the car, made jokes, laughed. Had an awesome time. Texted me. Stayed up because she was close to me. Stayed up until I got home, like late. She wanted me to text her when I got home, which I'm like, that was crazy. Third date went well. Went out to dinner. Went back to her place. Nothing happened. Built some Legos. Had a good time. Had some great conversation. She went on vacation for a little bit. Sent me some pictures. This was just a few days ago, and I might be jumping the gun, but it seemed like it cooled off, and she hasn't been really responding. So I don't know. I don't know what I did wrong. This is kind of me just venting right now, just to kind of show you my struggling side. Not so much advice, I guess, tonight, but yeah, I mean, I just thought, it was going well, and I'm trying to figure out the common denominator in all of these talking stages, situationships, whatever you want to call it. And I just don't know. I feel like I've really tried to hold conversation, check in, see how they're doing, but not be too overbearing, kind of let them give the energy back a little bit. And I'm back at square one again. I'm back at square one, and I don't know. I don't know if this is like a universal thing with dating these days, but try not to let it get to me. But man, it's hard sometimes. You think you're doing all the right things. You've done all this inner work. You've tried to have an inner perspective, ask other people what the deal is, and still it just the ghosting and just the communication is just not there. And again, I've tried to have introspection into this, and all for naught sometimes. Maybe I'm going after emotionally unavailable girls. I don't know what it is. I've tried not chasing. I've tried being distant. I've tried a lot of different things. And I think a previous episode or two, I kind of mentioned a couple things that I was doing that seemed to help. And I don't know. I just feel like I'm back at square one sometimes. So I don't know. Could be something I'm doing. Could be something they're doing. Could be scraping the bottom of the barrel. There's a saying that says, you could be a great apple on an apple tree, but some people just like pears, and I'm not putting myself in that category. I mean, that's universally for everybody. You can be an awesome person. You can be an awesome, wife material, husband material, whatever you want to call it. And some people just don't like that type of person, and that's okay. That's okay. I try to shake it off, but man, I feel like I've gone on several first dates and talked to quite a few girls, and just back at square one. Maybe I'm just not emotional enough. I don't know. Maybe I don't listen enough. I mean, this is what this channel is all about, is trying to refine all of your your issues and your problems, and trying to work through them, and perhaps polishing your attributes that are positive and enlightening and awesome. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird time. It's a weird time in dating. We have our we got our social media. Everybody is on their phone at all times, and I feel like you mess up just a little bit, and people just kind of go off the rails. I know that I've kind of not talked to gals that I wasn't super interested in. It was more of like an attention thing, but I've always tried to be straight up and telling them, hey, I don't want to ghost you, but I just don't think this is going to work out. I feel like at least giving them that is worth it. So there's another gal I was chatting with and had some awesome conversation before, and I sent her a couple of messages, and she left me on, I guess, delivered, but I haven't talked to her in a couple of weeks either. So, maybe this whole thing of kind of talking to different people to kind of see what you want wasn't the greatest idea from a guy's perspective. But I also think that I've perhaps sunk a lot of energy into this, maybe unnecessary energy that I shouldn't be. But I've also looked at the other side and never really put a lot of effort in during my high school years or even in my early 20s. And so it seems like I've gone haywire and gone a little bit overkill, almost making up for what I didn't do previously. So maybe I should just back off again and work on myself. But man, I know people say that all the time, right? It's so cringe. The right one will come along. The right one will come along when you're in a position of readiness, and it's hard to not compare yourself to other people. And it's like, man, I don't, I'm not having casual sex. I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. I don't, I got, pay my own bills. I got a car, got a business, and I feel like you're going through this checklist of, I got this and I got this and I this. So therefore, maybe input with these things doesn't automatically equal output. And I know that there's a lot of other people in the same boat, including girls. I know that's true. I know a lot of them. So I don't know if it's, if we have too many options these days, too many options regarding social media and just our everyday personal life. Maybe our technology has really pushed us to a different mentality of waiting for that quote unquote perfect person or perfect life before we can actually step into it. Because it's so easy to look at a person, especially most likely when you're married, obviously not married, so I can't speak on this, but to look at a person and look at one defect and forget all the other positive attributes in that person and say, but I don't like this thing. And it seems like that's more, radicalized in dating and looking at one person when you're talking to them or dating. And all of these great attributes in this person, they do this, this, and this, but it's like, it's this one thing on the side that I can't get over. And at the end of the day, does it actually matter? Does that negative thing actually matter? Obviously, keep your standards high when you're looking for somebody, but also be realistic too. Does that one thing or those two things actually matter that bother you? Or is it something that you can talk about and get over? And it's the same thing with you, If somebody doesn't like a certain thing that you're doing, maybe it's worth looking at. Maybe it's worth looking at and working on it. But, you don't want to change for the other person as well. So, there's a lot of yin and yangs with this conversation. And I obviously don't have a lot of advice to give because I'm single. I've been single for 28 years of my life, so these are just my struggles. And again, this is more of a venting session versus actually cutting down and delving into an aspect of a subject. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'll keep you guys posted on what goes on next, but for right now, it's pretty dry and that's okay. It's okay to be alone and enjoy your own thoughts and enjoy a cigar and kind of relax and wind down for the night. So anyway, I love you guys. I care for you. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And keep these videos rolling as long as I'm going. So again, it's just me rambling at this point. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the night, great rest of the week. See you in the next episode. Peace.